Let me show you how I made this beautiful cake. And this could be a baby shower cake, a baby welcome home cake, gender reveal cake, any type of cake. So, of course, I've already crumb coated the cake and I realize that it's not centered. So I'm going to go ahead and use the offset spatula, put it underneath the cake and go all the way around so that I can slightly move it over just a little bit. Now this cake is just going to be simple white cake with a little bit of pink. Now if you decide to make it into a gender reveal cake, you can add some blue, but it's just a simple, elegant cake. So now I'm going to prepare the piping bag, and I like to use a cup to add the buttercream to the bag so that I can start to frost the cake. The piping bag is ready to go, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure and then decorate the cake. Now this is pretty simple. You just go around the whole cake. There are other ways to do it. You can just add frosting from the spatula, but this seems to give you an even layer of frosting all around the cake. Now that the cake is fully covered in buttercream, I'm going to use the offset spatula to smoothen the frosting out a little bit. Then I'm going to use the bench scraper to begin to smoothing it out completely. There will be holes and gaps, and I'm just going to cover that up with more buttercream. And I like to do an up and down motion to kind of cover up the holes. After I cover up the holes, I'm going to smoothen it out again with the bench scraper. And you just want to continue this process just until it is smooth to your liking. Once I get to the point where it is smooth, but it just needs a little bit more to smooth it on out, I like to heat up my bench scraper by using hot water. And I just warm my water with an electric kettle. Now I'm going to clean up the top of the cake by just swiping the frosting in, and then I'm going to clean up the bench scraper and do it again until it is completely done. Now I'm going to use this 6B piping tip to create these shells around the border of the cake. And with this, I just apply a little bit of pressure and then pull away. This is how you can create that border around the border of the cake. Then I'm going to do the same shell border at the bottom of the cake as well. Now I'm going to use a smaller tip and create the same effect, but just smaller shells in pink. I'm going to do the same effect at the bottom of the cake as well. Now I tried to pipe some extra pipings on the side of the cake, but it just did not come out well. So I scraped it off, and I'm just using a smaller bench scraper to scrape that up and clean that up. Now I'm going to add these pink bows to the cake, and they came pre-made. I just washed them off and let them dry before I added them to the cake. And I'm just going to use a little bit of buttercream on the back to stick that onto the cake. Now for the word baby that I placed on top of the cake, I just melted some white chocolate into this letter mold, and I'm just going to take the letters out of the mold. Once the letters are out of the mold, I'm just going to clean them up a little bit, and then I'm going to paint just the letters that I needed gold using gold luster dust. Once it's painted and ready to go, I'm going to place that in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and then it's ready to place on top of the cake. This is optional, but if you want, you can use some type of edible adhesive or buttercream to keep the letters in place. But for this cake, I didn't use anything. The letters stayed in place. And that is it. The cake is done. A simple, cute design for a baby. I was so honored to make this cake. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe.